They say blood is thicker than water, but in Nigeria, love can turn that blood into pepper soup. This story happened in Abeokuta, a lively town in southwestern Nigeria, where weddings are not just ceremonies but festivals. People come dressed in their finest lace, women balance gel like crowns, and men shine in freshly pressed agbadas. The smell of jollof rice and fried plantain fills the air, and gossip moves faster than the DJ's music. Amaka was the bride everyone adored. She was kind, soft spoken, and beautiful in a calm way that made everyone smile around her. Her groom, Olumide, was tall, dark, handsome, and carried himself with the confidence of a man who had found the love of his life. Their union seemed perfect, the kind that makes aunties sigh and declare, true love still exists. Among the guests that day was Amaka's younger sister, Chidinma, bright, playful, and stunning in her own right. She danced through the crowd, laughing, hugging everyone, her golden dress catching the sunlight like it had secrets of its own. No one could have guessed that behind her sweet smile hid a betrayal that would shake the family. The wedding began in full glory. The pastor blessed the couple, the choir sang, and the hall filled with joy and music. Amaka's friends teased her lovingly while photographers snapped pictures. Every now and then, though, Olumide's gaze would drift, always toward Chidinma. His eyes lingered a little too long, and every time they met, she smiled softly, almost shyly. Most people didn't notice, but one person did. Auntie Ronki, the family's professional gossip and self appointed moral inspector. Why is that man looking at his bride sister like that? She whispered to Uncle Eve beside her. Maybe he's just admiring the family resemblance, Uncle Eve replied with a shrug. Auntie Ronki hissed, Hmm, that's how Wahala starts. Let's watch and see. And she did, closely. The party continued until the stars came out. People danced barefoot, shouting, On! As Amaka fed Olumide cake. The newlyweds looked happy, but there was something flickering beneath Olumide's charming smile, a restlessness, like someone hiding a secret under a suit. Later that night, Amaka and Olumide went to their hotel room. Amaka was glowing with joy and exhaustion. She wanted to play a love song while they unpacked, so she picked up Olumide's phone. Just as she tapped the screen, a message popped up. I can't believe you're marrying here, Olumide. You said you loved me? Chidinma. The world stopped. For a moment, Amaka just stared at the screen. Then she opened the message thread. Dozens of texts, pictures, late night calls, voice notes that began with baby and ended with I miss you. Her hands trembled so hard she could barely breathe. Her own sister? Her knees went weak. But instead of crying, she sat on the edge of the bed and scrolled until there was nothing left to see. Then she exhaled deeply and wiped her tears. A quiet, dangerous calm came over her face. No problem, she said softly. Tomorrow, the whole world will see. The next day, the wedding reception was brighter than ever. The hall glittered with gold and white decorations. Guests were eating, laughing, and dancing like the night would never end. The DJ kept shouting, If you don't eat jollof rice today, you'll regret it tomorrow. Everyone was cheerful. Everyone except Amaka, who moved through the crowd with a quiet grace that made even her smile seem heavy with meaning. After the food and music, the MC clapped his hands for attention. Our beautiful bride would like to say a few words. Amaka stood up slowly, holding the microphone with steady hands. Her eyes glowed with peace, or something that looked like it. First of all, she began, I want to thank two special people, my husband Olumide and my lovely sister Chidinma. The crowd clapped happily. Olumide grinned. Chidinma smiled and waved like a princess, but Amaka wasn't done. She continued, still smiling. You both have taught me something important, the real meaning of love and betrayal. So, I want to share a little surprise with everyone. Let's watch something together. People turned curiously towards the big screen. The projector came alive, and then photo after photo appeared. Olumide and Chidinma holding hands, hugging in hidden corners, selfies in cars, screenshots of late night chats. The hall went dead silent for one long second. Then chaos exploded. Gasps, screams, chairs scraping the floor. Ah! What is this? Shouted one of the guests. Auntie Ronki leapt to her feet. I said it! I told everybody this man's eyes were too sharp. Olumide jumped up, face pale. Amaka is not what it looks like. Amaka tilted her head and asked calmly, Oh, really? You were praying in those pictures, right? Laughter and disbelief filled the hall. Even the caterer stopped serving food to watch. Amaka removed her wedding ring and placed it neatly on the table beside the microphone. Her voice was soft but powerful. You two deserve each other. I won't fight for what belongs to both of you. But remember, what starts in secret always ends in shame. She turned to Chidinma, who was frozen with embarrassment, her eyes wet with tears. Sister, Amaka said gently, I forgive you, but next time, please find your own man, not your sister's leftovers. The crowd gasped again, then burst into laughter mixed with pity. The DJ muttered under his breath, This wedding deserves a movie. As the noise swelled, Olumide's best man, Kunle, stepped forward with a nervous smile. Amaka, he said quietly, you are strong and wise. Can I take you out sometime? Maybe to cheer you up? Amaka turned to him, her smile playful this time. As long as your phone doesn't have a secret Chidinma contact. The hall erupted. People laughed, clapped, and shouted her name like a heroine from a Nollywood film. And just like that, Amaka walked out with her head high, her dignity intact, leaving Olumide and Chidinma in the middle of their own disgrace. The story spread like wildfire across Abeokuta. By the next week, everyone was calling it the most dramatic wedding of the year. Aunties repeated it during family gatherings, and even market women used it to warn their daughters. Don't be like that, Chidinma. Oh. Chidinma quietly left town not long after. No one knew where she went. Some said Lagos. Others said she moved abroad to start over. Olumide vanished from the scene as well, leaving behind whispers and shame. As for Amaka, she turned her pain into power. She opened a bridal shop and called it No More Tears Bridals. Her business grew fast, and her calm, confident smile returned. Every bride who came to her shop left not just with a dress but with advice. She would smile and say, If your love isn't loyal, no lace can cover that. Sometimes, Auntie Ronke would pass by her shop, shake her head proudly, and tell anyone who would listen, I was there that day. The way Amaka dropped that ring, even my ancestors clapped. And so, life moved on. The gossip faded, the shame disappeared, and peace took its place. Amaka learned that heartbreak isn't always an ending. Sometimes it's the beginning of something purer, wiser, and far stronger. Because when truth finally comes out, freedom walks in, and no betrayal, no matter how painful, can stop a woman who knows her worth. Amaka's story doesn't end here. Our next chapter is even deeper. Will she ever love again? Subscribe now and turn on your notification bell because part 2, When Love Knocks Again, is coming soon. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.